Hello, light-hearted Rainbow Tribe. Here we are together again for our 1 minute at one for the one. So yesterday, what came through was about sharing this luminous land and this luminous life. And what is really being pointed to is the recognition of the immanence of our true nature. That this incredible light, this conscious, alive beingness is here. There's nowhere else. There's no other world we're getting to. There's no going somewhere. It's the realization here now. And in this recognition, this realization, we move through several phases in our journey, right? So in the beginning, in the first part, it's the movement toward. We hear there's something beautiful, there's something called light, there might be some release of suffering. And so we start to move towards something that we've heard about, but that we don't directly know or understand or experience. Some of us, really adopt the faith and say it's here even though it's completely invisible and I'm out of touch with it. And then as our openings occur, as our realizations occur, we move into a second phase. And in that phase, we begin to really feel like we've experienced the presence, that we're starting to have a sense of what our true nature is and that we are that. And we continue to explore, and we still are, dealing with our lives and what's happening in them, and there's a lot of movement in and out. Many of us go to places where we can have experiences that help us get in touch with, open more deeply, relax, and begin to allow our systems to recognize what it is to be in a receptive, open place, allowing this to come in. And as that begins to really take shape and form, we move into a third phase where we recognize we are this is us. We are dwelling within the indwelling presence. And it's guiding us, it's alive in us, coming more thoroughly forward. The sense that we are a somebody trying to get somewhere or do something or change something is going going, gone. And it's like egoing, egon. So in the third phase, it's kind of like gone. And even though we may re-identify from time to time and experience various things from that perspective, the capacity to be vulnerable in that, which that vulnerability allows a permeability in our system to open into this light that is here, that is permeating everything. And so our system opens in and says it's okay to be as I am, whatever shape that is, however it's appearing. And this can permeate that. And it's a very relaxed, we become increasingly relaxed and allowing this to do the works instead of trying to work so hard to get somewhere we're not. We begin to open into the recognition that we are exactly here where everything is. And there's actually another turning, there's another level of development. And this is where we really begin to work ourselves into total freedom, into the recognition of the freedom of the totality of our being that our consciousness opens up into. And that this total love totally loves the totality of itself. And the amazing thing about the total freedom here is that it's free to separate. It's free to identify. And so suddenly separation becomes part of the play in a way that's not stressed about. It's not resisted. It's not made wrong. It's not something that has to be fixed or changed. It's just allowed. And it's allowed with this conscious awareness that is just simply okay with whatever it is that's here. That's the nature of the unconditioned. Our true nature is completely unconditioned, and it's unconditional. And so the love, the mercy, the forgiveness, it's all here for the totality. And we are seen not only as an individualization, a unique expression of this, but we recognize we are also the totality. And that totality is free to separate. But the beautiful thing that you see in this is that it's not possible. This cannot, in fact, separate from itself. So the cosmic joke then begins to infuse our lives with this recognition. Oh, wow, there's a huge play of consciousness going on out here that is a realm of being which includes a lot of suffering that we have deep compassion for, but is in the recognition that somehow, strangely, separation is included as part of this movement, as part of this play. And so there's the standing in this luminous land in the complete recognition that there's no such thing as separation. It's not a possibility. And yet this is free to play as if there is such a possibility. How amazing is that? And so when the evidence of what seems like, an agreement field among human beings that it's possible to be separate, and the painful experiences of that, and then there's this experience of this incredible light and love and passion for the truth that arises in these amazing human beings. We creatures of divinity, with our survival instincts and our identifications and our relationships of conflict and stress and harmony and beauty. It's all in the mix. It's all included, as it is. And so part of the freedom, it's incredible, is that this is free to be as it is. And that we're no longer deluded or deceived by the appearance of separation. Because the knowingness that is alive in us is that even though it appears to be so, and even though we may be experiencing it as so, it isn't real. There's nothing to it. It's just the hypnotic trance of the mind that believes in separation. And we love that. Because we know it's not a limitation that we're stuck in. The place where we felt so imprisoned and lost and bereft in what was a never permeated state of separation now recognizes that what is experiencing separation is what can never be separate. So in this very tumultuous time, and we're heading into an eclipse season. So tomorrow, Friday, there is a penumbral lunar eclipse, and in 2 weeks that's followed by a total solar eclipse, full moon in Leo. And so here's the beauty of the opportunity in the eclipse season, which is first to really release all of the feelings that we've got about what it's been like to be incarnate here and to experience this separation as if it was real and to be devastated within it. I mean, because truly, many of us have experienced horrific, devastating experiences in this realm of separation. And still are. And so the lunar eclipse is all about the waters, the emotions of our being, and the clearing out of all of what we feel about that. And the interesting thing about Aquarius, new moon Aquarius, moving into the full moon of Leo, is that we have in Aquarius the collective, and in Leo we have the individual, the shining sun. And on the dark side of Leo, we have the ego of the ego. I mean, we have, I'm the one that's got it all, and but when we open into the heart of Leo, the radiant, shining, luminous heart of Leo, we open into sovereignty. And sovereignty is a way of being that recognizes not the insanity that we experience here of domination and force, but we begin to open into the recognition of what truly has dominion. And that we are emanations of that, and as emanations of that, we are stewards of everything here, on the ground, where our feet are, where we live and move and breathe and walk and make contact and relate. So it's not of our doing and not of our making. There's no egoic nonsense, truly nonsense going on here. It's the recognition that what has dominion is this beautiful radiance, this purity of love that is all-encompassing, all-embracing, all-penetrating, all-permeating, everywhere, everything. And we let go completely in this love, in complete faith and confidence of its capacity to arise within everyone and everything as it arises within us. And as we are true to this, we discover that this is what is being true. And it is true to us. And it's true to us in this life that it is experiencing as this remarkable, amazing, magnificent creature called human. So be at peace with your experience, whatever it is. And as you are presencing, aware in your experience, and curious, what is it that's really happening here? What is it that's really true? And being true to that truth, living it as best you can. This is unfolding itself in all perfection, no matter what it looks like or how it feels or what we're experiencing. So the amazing thing about this is that the more clearly we embody and radiate this and emanate this and share this with our brothers and sisters, the more it comes to be so. It's kind of an amazing thing. And in the capacity that this has to love as itself, the totality, embracing the totality of itself, people are waking up all over the planet in the midst of whatever is going on. And sometimes the exigencies, the extreme places of pain and heartbreak and torture, people wake up in the middle of that. People come to the place of peace that says it's okay if I die here, and discover what lives, what's really alive, who dies. What if there is no death? What happens with consciousness if it withdraws its presence from a particular embodiment? And if you've ever seen a corpse, you know there's something very different between the experience of this embodying and when this is no longer embodying. It's a very profound difference. So immanence in complete freedom. This is our life, our luminous life. To stand here in the midst of everything that's going on, the deep level of change and shift from the vast collective belief in separation into a critical mass that knows there is no such thing, is upon us. And that's what we're seeing. And that's what the backlash is that's happening. So we know that they're deeply afraid. We know that they're suffering. We love them. Because the truth is here. There's nothing to fear. So my radiant ones, until tomorrow, shine.